Welcome to my session. My session is talk about deep learning. I think many people to know .NET can do everything, but machine learning is very new topic to everyone. Some people maybe think the .NET can always tell me, Kinwei, you always said .NET can do machine learning, but they think .NET cannot do. But I think I want to net this session to let more people to know, okay, .NET can do machine learning projects. Oh, let's go. I will introduce myself. I'm Kim Fei Lo. I'm Microsoft Regional Cloud Advocate. I'm based in China. If you want to tell me some question in this session or some machine learning, .NET and different technology, you can give me some email or focus my GitHub. Yeah. Because I joined Microsoft, I'm Microsoft MVP, Xamarin MVP, and Microsoft Regional Director. And now I'm Microsoft Cloud Advocate. I always focus machine learning, cloud native, and mobile development. If you want to know more, welcome to the reactor to know to get more sessions from me and some community. Yeah. And now today, what we'll talk about. Yeah. I think many people to know machine learning. Yeah. But I will talk three topics. The one topic is machine learning. The second is deep learning, and the third is MLOps. I think this is one and two all topic. Some people use that because I think machine learning you can use ML.NET and deep learning use ML.NET. But MLOps, some people say, oh, .NET can use MLOps. I say yes. I will talk how to use MLOps in Microsoft Azure Machine Learning Service. Let's go. The first thing I think I said .NET can do everything because .NET is open source project can focus different area just like desktop, web, cloud native, and mobile, and gaming, and IoT. Machine learning is very new topic. In the past 3 years, ML.NET is very famous in .NET technology. But what's machine learning? Machine learning, I think many people say AI. AI is the target because artificial intelligence. Many people say this. I want to do AI projects. Or some people say, oh, AI project can help me to finish something, just like computer vision and NLP solutions. I think this is very important to everyone because in the world, some people say, oh, you finish AI project. Yeah, that's very cool. Now, what do you think of the AI project? Because some people say AI, machine learning, and deep learning is the same concept. I say, no, AI is the target, machine learning is the process, and deep learning is the method of machine learning. So, machine learning and deep learning, many people to want to focus this technology. And in .NET or some technology, machine learning can do something just like self-driving or machine learning translation and some forecasting and image recognize and some in commercial recommendations. Yeah, I think this is different scenario in machine learning. And now, if you use Python and R language, it can do everything. But now, .NET publish ML.NET. This is open source project and cross-platform machine learning framework. Let more .NET developer to use C# and F# to finish some machine learning and deep learning projects. It's very cool. In the 3 year, these 3 years, ML.NET every year can give us many new upgrades to finish something. Just like ML.NET, we have very important functions, just like you can use ML.NET in command line. Yeah, you can finish some machine learning using the MLNet command line. Another is model builder. Model builder is very easy because you can use Visual Studio to install machine learning model builder extensions to finish machine learning. You can use that to finish computer vision and NLP projects. It's very easy because you just only focus upload some images or some data, just like a CSV and some database files. It will help you to finish the machine learning projects in the local or Azure. So you don't focus some deep learning and some machine learning things. You just only wait because if you have GPU, it will help you export the model as soon as possible. Yeah. Another is AutoML. I think ML.NET has very important thing is AutoML. You can use AutoML to finish something to find the best model in for your applications. So I think ML.NET is very cool for .NET developer. But now, some people say, .NET developer, ML.NET is only focused .NET developer. Not replace Python and some R developer because we give the one way to finish machine learning in .NET. Some features is very good. Just like that, .NET 7 is updated. You can get the ML.NET version 2 or upgrade. It gives you more and more interesting functions, just like AutoML, just like NLP support. I think this is very cool. Because you not only focus, you not know data scientists or some ML experiments because you just use some API to call all the data and then it will help you to finish some models. So ML.NET is very popular in .NET scenario. But now, what we want to know, ML.NET can do something. Developer manage some friendly API, including some data, some training ML tasks, and model conceptions. Just like that, training ML tasks, I think it's cool because traditional machine learning, including traditional classical machine learning things, including classification, regression, and them. Of course, including computer vision and NLP, because this is deep learning projects, you can use that to finish image classification and object detections. NLP, you need to test classification and sentence similar. So this is very important scenario to machine learning projects. It helps you to solve this problem. So I think ML.NET is very strong on technology. Another is conception. Yeah, because we have many models, you can use some models in conception. So model conception can ML.NET support model conception, and not only focus some ML.NET export model, including some TensorFlow model or this model. Another is now you can use Omnis export in ML.NET. So everyone to know, Omnis is very common framework in machine learning or artificial intelligence model. Another is emulations. A model emulator and quality matrix is good. Another is some tools. ML.NET give more tools, just I say, including CLI model builder. Another is .NET Interactive. If you use .NET Interactive in Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio, you can use Jupyter Notebook to finish some data scientists. Not only focus ML.NET, you can use that to for your data and get some results for another things. So I think ML.NET is very complete framework now. Now we need to talk about deep learning. Some people say, oh, ML.NET not more focused deep learning because Many people love PyTorch and TensorFlow framework for deep learning. You know that this is an AI top framework in the world. So many people say, Dollar has need to create some deep learning framework. But I think if you use Xamarin, you think, oh, we can binding and some a framework just like Xamarin, just like if you want to use PyTorch in C in .NET, I think binding is good because you don't create the new things and use the say as PyTorch, TensorFlow as the say tool. Oh, I will introduce two deep learning framework in .NET. The first thing is TensorFlow.NET. You know, I joined this community to contribute some code in TensorFlow.NET in the past 4 years. TensorFlow.NET is very cool because many community developer to contribute the TensorFlow.NET. You can download and get more to know TensorFlow.NET. TensorFlow.NET provide a .NET standard binding for TensorFlow. You can use native experiments in C# with TensorFlow. Let the .NET developer to finish deep learning projects. It's very easy to install TensorFlow.NET. Something is a new get to install TensorFlow.NET. Of course, now TensorFlow 2 support import carriers. Now, TensorFlow.NET can support TensorFlow.carriers. So you can use NuGet to install this package. Another is some people focus some GPU support. If you have some CUDA, you can install TensorFlow.NET GPU version support in Linux and Windows. I think Mac OS is cool. I try to compile the TensorFlow.NET with the new TensorFlow library. It's okay. It can use the GPU in my Apple Silicons too. So I think TensorFlow.NET can do as say as the TensorFlow. You can use C# to finish that. Let's see what I do. Yeah, this is my I notebook. Yeah, you can see that I import TensorFlow version. Another is use TensorFlow GPU. If you want to use the TensorFlow 2, you can use TensorFlow with this in 2 version. If you want to use TensorFlow 1, you can use 1.15 version. And then you can use this to finish some deep learning project. You can see this is all things coding in C#. You can see that I try to transfer learning and to training some model in my photos. You can see that sorry. You can see my training project and some petitions. So I think you can use this TensorFlow framework, .NET framework to finish some deep learning projects. This is no problem to any. It can call all the TensorFlow API. So don't worry about not cannot do something. It can do everything now. Yeah. Another is I want to introduce PyTorch. This is a PyTorch C# and .NET version. You know, TensorFlow.NET is contributed in community, and TorchSharp is a part of the .NET Foundation. It always has the say in TensorFlow. This is a .NET library to provide the library powers PyTorch. You can use TorchSharp to training and consumptions too. Of course, it supports CPU and GPU version in your system. If you want to use that, you only install PyTorch TorchSharp packages and install some CUDA version in your system. Just like that, if you want to use Linux system, you can use a library Torch CUDA versions. It always support 11.7 and 11.3 is okay. Of course, it support .NET 6 and .NET 7 now. You can use C# and .NET to finish deep learning with Python with TorchSharp. Okay, let's see another samples. This sample is I use TorchSharp to finish some computer visions samples. I import a TorchSharp library, use NuGet. In this logo, I use the .NET Interactive. You can see how I import NuGet for the TorchSharp. Another is I use the CUDA version for my Linux system. Another is I use the NuGet to download my some files. So the first thing, just like that, just like you coding in C#, I use import some C# packages using C# languages. You can see I download all the data. Another is you can see I check the my system has some CUDA support. If not, use CPU. So in your system, you need to install CUDA versions to support GPU celebrations. This it tell you, oh, the device CUDA not support, but if you have some GPU, it will tell you support that. I set the epoch and trailing batch size. You can see I create the neutral network just like I minister module or in the minister module or create a deep learning layers. You can see that I set some trailing here. Wait. You can see that it can help me to finish some trailings as the say in PyTorch. So I think TorchSharp and TensorFlow.net can do deep learning now. But I said many people say, ML.NET can do the same things. I will tell you, ML.NET image classification, the base layer is TensorFlow.net. You know, image classification using TensorFlow.net. It helps you to finish some image classification in TensorFlow. Yeah. So you use ML.net. You can use TensorFlow.net, but some people say, how about TorchSharp? You can see that this is TorchSharp solution. ML.NET version 2 support. Oh, sorry, I typed wrong. This is text classification. Yeah, ML.NET support the text classification. Now, it basic TorchSharp. So I think ML.NET can support a deep learning. Because the TensorFlow.net and TorchSharp base TensorFlow.net and TorchSharp. So it's very, very cool. Another is maybe we need some people say, this is framework, but machine learning scenario is very important. How I can use the machine learning or deep learning in .NET in the machine learning scenario? This is very important. Let's see something. Okay, many people to use Azure ML to finish some machine learning projects. The first step is send to experiment. Yeah. The second step is create doc files. The first step is deploy, and then to call the data store and use the compute target. The five is a launch script. The six is get some logs and some output things. This is very, very circle step in the machine learning with Azure ML and another platform. So I think ML.NET can support this because some people to use ML.NET Auto ML to finish this, but you can use the deep learning just like TensorFlow.NET and PyTorch, TorchSharp to finish this too. Let's see how I do this. The first step is upload my data in Azure ML. This is Azure ML to support data and training and deploy in the for your machine learning project. The first step, you need to upload your data. Just like that, you can see the Azure Machine Learning Service platform. You can see, oh, this is the platform for the data. You can upload some image data and some different files. You can see I choose data to create the data to upload. Another is when you finish some data, you need to select some compute in Azure Machine Learning, just like you can choose the GPU accelerations. So, I set the compute clusters. This is I create the clusters. If you are Azure, you have Azure account, you can choose different GPU. If you have Azure free account, you can get the one GPU immediate K80. That's okay because it can help you to finish some machine learning and deep learning projects. This is the preparations. Another is you need to create doc files. In that, you can use ML.NET projects. So we dependency doc files. Another is if you not dependency ML.NET, just use TensorFlow.NET or Python or TorchSharp. You just use .NET doc files. And of course, .NET 6.7 can support. Yeah. And then create a YAML file. This YAML file is very important because it tells the compute the environments, how to set the environment. Just like that, TensorFlow.NET dependency library, TensorFlow for GPU. So, the first step, not call all the some projects. You need to set some environment for your TensorFlow.NET. So the first step, you need to download library TensorFlow. So just like that, I set the file 2.5 TensorFlow library and download and set the environment, and then you use .NET restore and build and run my projects. Another is you need to set the data path or in the in Azure. You need to call all from your command. So .NET run hash data path and output path. Output path is very important because when you finish some training, the model will export here. You can set some model to download or deploy to Azure directly. So you can see these YAML files. And then when you finish some prepare, you need to set the experimental. Yeah. Because this Azure ML dependency, Azure ML CLI, Azure ML version 2 or support the YAML file well. So you can, if we, the first, you need to install Azure ML CLI 2. So if you not install, you can access this address. Another is when you finish Azure ML CLI, you need to set the your Azure resource group and workspace name, and then call the your YAML files. Just like my command line here. You need the first step is tell the Azure Machine Learning, you use this Azure Machine Learning Service and resource group. Another is you upload the YAML files in the Azure. to help you to finish some training. Another is experiment. When you finish that, wait a moment, because it will help you to some setting environment and some finish some running. And just like here, you can see the Azure ML logs. You can open the ML logs in this file. You can see, it helps you to create the doc. Another is something. Wait a moment. You can see the results. The results is good because it tell you, epoch. Of course, this is sample. So not very good accuracy. You can and change the something to upgrade your accuracy. Yeah. Another is you can see the jobs. These jobs to tell you, you trade what you are trading, and the latest what's this? You can see this, and then the first step, the step for you can see the output model. Here, because I say outputs is very important, because you can use the models in export models here. So you can see you can open the output folder and tell the export the model or deploy the model. Yeah. Just like here, you can register model because you want to use some Azure consumption for the model. You can see you can register the model and give and finish register model, and then to set the endpoint to consumption the model. Another is you can download the model to for your projects. It's okay because because the model not only in the cloud, you can deploy the model in your application. Let's see something. This is my Azure machine learning portal. You can see the data. The data is Star Wars data. The Star Wars data is the folder. You can upload the data here or create the new data. Another is the jobs. You can see the training. Okay, I training some jobs experimental. You can see here. When I finish, you can see the output and logs files. You can check that. Just like here, it create the log files, and another is tell you the some results, the training results. Another is if you want to use the models, you can find it in the outputs folder. Another is you can use this for a model that you can download this model, and or something is registered models. So you can choose the model in every scenario in Azure Machine Learning Service. Just like here, I use that to use .NET Mario to call this model. This is Windows application. When I run this application, it can help me to finish some image classification to tell you, BBA or CVP or R2D2. I run this program, wait. Okay, you can see this is model consumption applications. Okay, when you click here, wait a moment, it will give you the result. Okay, it's BBA. Yeah, that's cool. You can see that how I do this. This is I download the model to my .NET Mario projects in the Star Wars ML support. This is from my Azure Machine Learning Service. It's very easy to call in my .NET Mario projects. I think you can do something like this. I hope this is the full scenario in .NET Machine Learning, including training, including consumption, including deploy. This is very cool. And the finish, I think, and the summary is .NET can do. We can use ML.NET in any .NET solution now. Thank you. Thank you to join my session. If you want to download these cases, you can go to my GitHub to get this demo. Yeah, thank you very much.